Racewatch 12 with Cade Heidemann is brought to you by Builder Service and Menke GMC Mazda.
Throwback weekend at Darlington is now come and gone for NASCAR's top divisions. But before we get straight into the action, there was some big news that developed around Michael McDowell over the weekend. The driver who was fastest in practice at Darlington announced that he won't be in the 34 Ford after this year. McDowell says he will be piloting the 71 Chevrolet for Spire starting next year, replacing Zane Smith, who is on loan to the team from Trackhouse. One reason Michael gave for the switch was a better chance at job security, citing that his deal with Front Row has always been a year-to-year thing, and now with Spire he has been able to sign something multi-year. On to the Truck Series race, where, as has now seemingly become a tradition, an early caution is going to ruin the day of a driver. But I don't think anyone would have expected that driver to be Kyle Busch. That's right, KB loses it off of turn 2 and slams the inside wall head-on, destroying his truck and ending his day before it even began. On the restart, Corey Heim was able to run away with that lead as he attempted to at the top of this race. Christian Eckes was the only one who could keep up with him through the first stage, but Heim had the skill to hold him off for the 10 stage points. Midway through stage 2, another Tricon truck comes for the lead, with Taylor Gray being the one to unseat his teammate for first. That is, until a caution for Spencer Boyd brings the field back together. No takers on pit road this time except for Taylor Gray, who drops down to almost last place with about 20 to go in the stage. Taylor makes up enough ground to make it inside the top 10 for stage's end, but up front it's Corey Heim yet again, this time with 2 seconds above second place. Pit road, as it typically does, proves itself the great equalizer when it sends Corey from first to fourth and Ty Majeski to the lead. This restart couldn't have gone any better for Majeski, who launches off extremely well. Things a little later go from bad to worse for Corey Heim when Dean Thompson gets loose and shoves Heim into the wall, also collecting other heavy hitters like Lane Riggs, Raja Carruth, and Matt Crafton. With arguably the best truck of the night now out of contention, it was back to being anyone's race. Majeski and Eckes fight for the lead off the restart, resulting in a three-way battle also involving Grant Enfinger. The 98 gets a comfortable lead on the field, however he can't get to the white flag in time before one more yellow flag is flown, this time for Jack Wood. On the final overtime restart, Ross Chastain launches off the best, with Majeski being caught up in a wreck that kills any momentum he had. The 45 takes the white flag while being hunted down by Nick Sanchez. The 2 truck got close, but the 45 of Ross Chastain will win his first truck race since 2022. Xfinity Racing returned after the week-long break with Cole Custer winning the pole. He leads the field to green and a Johnny Sauter throwback. It took him almost the entirety of a lap to get clear of Chandler Smith, but he got there out of turn 4. Not long into the first run, a new trend emerges when William Byron rides the wall a bit too much and needs to bring it down pit road. It seems the Cup guys running anything but the Cup race can't catch a break. Unless your name is Ross Chastain, of course. Custer's day also wouldn't start off too hot when during the competition caution an error on pit road forced him to pit twice, sending him all the way to the back. He's giving up that front spot to Justin Allgaier, who clears Austin Hill outside of turn 2. A spot he is not giving up, winning out stage 1. Not one car had the necessary speed to catch Allgaier all day. Just as he did in stage 1, once he got the lead, there was no looking back. The 7 car also dominates the entirety of stage 2 with a second lead on Austin Hill. In the closing laps, Austin Hill uses everything his car would give him to try and get by Justin Allgaier, but he won't make it happen before the yellow flies. This time for Haley Deegan, whose left rear blows out, destroying the 15. Even with Cole Custer catching up to the front pack, he couldn't get through to the 7, who just runs off with the lead, as he's done all day. Justin Allgaier will be the one to win the Xfinity race at Darlington. One more race to go for Throwback Weekend, the Goodyear 400. Jeff Burton waves the first green flag of the day for the Cup guys. Tyler Reddick won the pole here, and he gets the best launch he possibly could, clearing Brad Keselowski in turn 2. Reddick held that lead up until green flag pit stops, losing out to Kyle Larson, who short pitted. Larson's going to take the green and white for his 7th stage victory so far this year. That stint out front would only last so long for Larson, as during the stage break, everyone came down for 4 fresh tires. And thanks to that #1 pit stall selection from Tyler Reddick, he wins the race off pit road and will lead the field to green once again to begin stage 2. Partway through this stint, William Byron takes things 3 wide into turn 1, which ends with Byron slipping into Martin Truex, who then clips Ryan Blaney, all culminating with Blaney slamming the wall, breaking a toe link, ending his day way too early. Blaney, who is notably very good friends with Byron off the track, decided to show his displeasure with the 24 by stopping short of wrecking Byron during pace laps. The restart proved to be no issue for the 45 of Reddick yet again, as he had proven at almost every restart. He had the speed it took to clear anyone in that field launch-wise. It was the long run where the 45 suffered. A point proven by Brad Keselowski, who had arguably the best long-run car of the day. He's going to pass the 45 with 68 laps to go. But rest easy is something the 6 couldn't do, as having 68 laps run green at Darlington of all places is way too tall of an order for the lady in black. Trouble starts brewing with 58 to go when Kyle Larson slams the wall down the back. Initially it looks like he could be fine. He brings it down pit road for some fresh Goodyear tires, then 41 to go he cuts down a left rear tire anyway, creating a caution and turmoil for race leader Keselowski. Back green again, it's Reddick and Keselowski on the front row. Brad knows if he concedes that spot to the 45, he may not be able to catch that Toyota again. For a couple laps, Brad stayed at Tyler's door, but he couldn't clear, even with a huge shove courtesy of his teammate Chris Buescher. So Buescher thought if he can't get his boss clear of Tyler, why not clear Brad and Tyler instead? Chris launches a huge crossover down the front that clears both the 45 and 6, and just like that, we have a new leader at Darlington. 10 to go, Reddick catches the 17 of Buescher. He dive bombs it into turn 3 hard, only to wall Buescher instead, killing both of their momentums, and look who's right there in the rearview mirror ready to capitalize. While both the 17 and 45 cut tires on that incident, the 6 of Brad Keselowski passes both for the lead, and this time he's not dropping it again. Brad Keselowski is going to snap a 110 race winless streak dating back to 2021 and win the Goodyear 400 at Darlington, also snapping Ford's 33 race winless streak along the way. As a little bonus, check out this altercation between Buescher and Reddick post-race. Buescher was having none of it from Reddick, even with how apologetic he was.
I don't have that sticker on my Ford. This means more. It needs to be better. We've raced each other just fine for so long.
How these two race each other in the future will be something to keep an eye on for the rest of this season. For Racewatch 12, I'm Cade Heidemann.